Welcome to Deep Thought. All people want a community. All people want a community. I was thinking about that because even people who call themselves lone wolves or sigmas or something like that want a community. And yes, sigmas too, because if they didn't want a community, you wouldn't have so many sigma content creators with people following them. All of us want like some people who think alike or something like that. That's something to always consider. We want a community of people. We want to feel like we're not the only ones who think this way or do things this way, behave this way. Even no matter how much of loners we might call ourselves, we still want to hook up with somebody. Even if it's just for relationships, that's a community. A family is a community. A neighborhood is a community. Groups are communities and stuff. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's something to think about because it's within us. In fact, we are really comfortable in a community. Most of us, all of us, really. It just depends on the community. I'm gonna say all of us. I was going to say most of us at first, but all of us want to be around someone. Because even the people who aren't around someone, is like, it's more or less they just didn't find the people who think the same way around them. But that's something, and it's something that's deep within us. We're real comfortable. We want to be around like-minded people. That's a community. Because a community, you don't have to be like a bunch of homes or something. That's one community. Another community, it could be a bunch of superheroes. Bunch of people with superpowers and stuff. That's a community. Or, a bunch of hitmen. That's a community. I was... a bunch of male exotic dancers. I talked to somebody who trains them, and he said, well, they don't so much have a community as they run around in packs. That's a community, though. That's a community. You got a pack. You see, here's the thing with people. People don't want to feel like they're the only ones who see things a certain way. They want maybe validation for whatever their attitudes are, whatever their worldview is, something like that. They want to be around people they can talk to. They want to be around people they can talk shop with. And I thought about this years ago. I first thought about this. Now, people, even before, I started really studying subcultures and stuff, and this was even before. I remember I was in D.C. and I was around a bunch of activists, and they were talking shop. These are political activists, the type who go out and, they'll protest something, they'll do something. And I was like, they were talking shop. It was cracking me up. They were just talking shop, talking about some stuff. And I was like, that's a community. Even before I really got into studying subcultures. But that's part of the thing I got into subcultures because I was looking at different communities. Like the first subculture that I really started looking at because I was working at the Department of Justice was the deaf cult, the deaf community. I mean, if you look them up, they have a language, American Sign Language. They don't consider being deaf as something that's, I forgot that word, but they don't consider it a problem. I'll use that for now. They don't consider it a problem, a disadvantage or anything. Those are still not the words, but, I'm just flowing. But they didn't. They were just deaf, and it was just a different way of being for them, So they developed something with it. I've seen that with the autism community. There's an autism culture. They're like, oh, this ain't a problem. It don't need to be solved. It's just a different way of thinking. Indeed, you have a lot of people now who are embracing that. They're saying, hey, I'm neurodivergent, I'm neurospicy, or something like that. And I was just like, okay, they just looking at it differently. And that's one thing we have. Once again, it comes down to people just seeing themselves a certain way, and it's like they're saying, this is all right. I don't have to be like the rest of them, especially when they find others who are the same way, who think the same way. Then that's very important. That is very important. And we all want that. It's something, it really is within us. It really is within us, because we want to feel like, hey, there's other people who see things this way. And there's other people I can talk to. And if there's some issues, with overall society with this, these are other people I can talk to. And it's very important. It's very important. And some people, if they don't have community, if they don't have an outlet, those are people who feel bad. I'm going to tell you something now, especially with the advent of social media. People can find their community. Like, I remember one community, they were picky eaters. And they actually had a meetup and everything. They didn't have to spend a lot of money on food, though. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. But it was only a few of them, but they could talk about that. They could say, hey, this is the issue. This is what we're going through as picky eaters. That's the thing, because we want to feel like somebody else is going through the same issue. We want to feel like somebody is sharing the same viewpoint. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's how people are. That's how people are. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Indeed, a lot of stuff, unless it's something where it's hurting someone else, and unfortunately, people who might want to hurt other human beings, unfortunately, they might have a community. But unless they want to hurt somebody else, it's not hurting anybody. One of the things with people is everybody is different. Everybody got, I'm not going to use the word quirks. Everybody got like something different about them, but their differences are part of their mission. That's the thing to think about. That is the thing to think about. What is their mission? What are they here to do? If everybody was the same, we probably wouldn't have grown as a society. Because I'm going to tell you what, you have one person, they might see something one way, but then the other person see it another way, but then a third person see it yet another way, but yet you could probably solve a problem because they see different angles to the problem. See, that's the thing. Because that's actually how it should be when people of different communities or different viewpoints come together. Indeed, that could be another community. I want y'all to think about that. I want y'all to really think about that, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today, and I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.